Ohio, Doshite no. Happy Sunday, you guys. It's your girl Tsukiju back again with another video. And you guys, I'm slightly embarrassed because I made a video not too long ago. It's like last week, I believe. And I I mixed up some information. Once again, you guys. But that's not stopping me from making videos, okay? Nobody called me out about it, but I came to realize that I was saying some of Joseph's story about with King David's story, and so I'm gonna just run that all. I'm gonna just run it all the way back, okay? I'm gonna just run it back for y'all because I don't like that. I gave y'all false information, kind of twisted their stories. So we're gonna get into it, you guys. I have my God is so dope shirt back on, and we're just gonna hop right into it, okay? So something that I want to tell y'all about King David is that he was a skilled harpist and a shepherd, and he was chosen by God to soon take the throne as king, okay? And he had like military background, so first it was King Saul of Israel. And what I got mixed up with with King David is that he was interpreting dreams. But that was actually Joseph's story. Now, I didn't know that King David had other brothers and stuff like that. But yeah, that was in my notes, right? And it was kind of incorporated with the story with King Saul and King David. So I was just making notes about videos that I was watching and stuff like that, because I watch a lot of videos that talk about the Bible, and for some reason when it came to me making a video, I kind of like just kind of I don't know, I just had a moment where, you know, I wasn't really paying attention, I guess, to what I was talking about. Because then this morning I was listening to the story, right? Someone was telling the story about King David. And I'm like, okay, I thought that was Joseph's story. I mean, I thought that was King David's story, but she was talking about Joseph. So I'm like, okay. So King David was chosen by God through Samuel to be Israel's future king. While Saul was still the king, he was still reigning king, right? So once King David slayed Goliath, that's when he started to gain popularity, you guys. And that is when King Saul and King David's like friendship was deteriorating, and it was turning into jealousy and envy, because he had a feeling that King David was runner-up. You know what I'm saying? He yeah, King Saul, he had a feeling that King David was runner-up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I don't like to mix up information with the Bible, because if it's coming from me, it needs to be the truth, okay? Because that's what I'm on the search for, is the truth. And if I'm on the search for it, I'm gonna come to y'all with the right information, period. Okay? Okay? So, yeah, King Saul, there was information that I was telling you guys about how King Saul was trying to unalive King David, right? And there was a point in time where King Saul, he was trying to get his sons to go after King David, I believe. I don't remember where I got that information from, but I had incorporated that into my video, right? And his sons were like, nah. So they ended up warning excuse me, they warned King David about what King Saul was up to. And after Saul grew jealous, he tried to kill him, take him out of here. My bad, y'all. And David, he lived as a fugitive, but refused to harm Saul, and trusting God's timing, right? Okay. So after Saul's death, David became king and united the Israel tribes, conquered Jerusalem, and made it the capital, expanding Israel's territory. Now, the story that I really wanted to tell in that video that I deleted was about King Joseph. I mean, not King Joseph. Joseph and his brothers. Because I feel like, you know, if you have siblings and you're kind of like special in your family of all of your siblings, I feel like we can relate to that, because it be your own people sometimes. And not just Joseph's story, but I was trying to find other stories that kind of relate to it be your own people sometimes. Because Joseph, he was the one that could interpret the Pharaoh's dream. So Joseph, he had Joseph, he had a gift, okay? And he was the son of Jacob. And he has a story of betrayal, slavery, and rise to power in Egypt. Is detailed in Genesis. Joseph was the husband of Mary, the earthly father of Jesus, known as righteous man who followed God's will despite extraordinary circumstances, right? He was Jacob's favorite son. And low-key, my dad be like, you know, I'm his favorite daughter or whatever. But he probably tells that to all my sisters, right? But I have siblings that are half siblings, but I only have one blood sister, and she's older than me. So that's why I feel like I can relate to this, because, you know, sometimes you never know how siblings really feel about you, especially when they're really older than you and you could possibly be doing better than them. First of all, nobody wants you to do better than them. Like, let's be so for real. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this story with Joseph. I mean, that's the story with Joseph. So, Jacob's favoritism shone through a special colorful robe, and Joseph's prophetic dreams of ruling over his family fueled his brother's jealousy. And let's be real, y'all. If we're chosen by God, then people are just going to be jealous, okay? And his brothers sold him into slavery. See, people will sell you out, even your own family, because of the spirit of jealousy and envy. And I just wanted to clarify this story of David and Joseph, because it's important to hear these stories from somebody like me, because I never really fit in with my older siblings because of the age gap. And I don't relate to them because they have kids and their kids are like damn near my age. So I would consider myself like Joseph, you know, but I don't know for sure if they would sell me out. And I don't know what they've said behind my back, you know. But my thing is, I've said things about them too. I've told people about my siblings because I know they talk about me behind my back. And I'm sure a lot of y'all siblings do as well. But if they have, which I don't know for sure, if they've done witchcraft or anything just because they don't want to see me elevate, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't want to see me elevate because it's me, because I've been chosen by God, and just because I've twisted or mixed up some information in the Bible. I feel like that's the devil trying to like make me feel like I can't come back and try again and make a video that actually is valid, and that's just the trick of the devil. But anyway, I love my siblings, but sometimes you have to love people from a distance, especially if, there's been situations with your siblings and you're just like, not really sure how to feel about our, sibling relationship because of the fact that we have a lot of things that haven't been said to one another, and it's more so been said behind closed doors, behind your back. And those are things that I feel like a lot of us deal with. Just miscommunication, but his brothers, they had it out for him, right? And I mean, I wouldn't say I feel like that with my siblings, but I don't feel as connected as I used to at one point. And Pharaoh had this dream, right? And in prison, he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, foretelling 7 years of plenty followed by famine. And Joseph was actually one of Jacob's 12 sons. He was the first of the 2 sons of Jacob and Rachel. But he went from betrayal to power, demonstrating God's providence, resilience, forgiveness, and foreshadowing Christ as he saved his family and Egypt from famine, ultimately showing how God turns evil into good for his greater plan, preserving Israel's lineage and fulfilling his covenant. See, as chosen ones, we have a mission. And one of the missions today for me was to make sure that I give this information correctly. Because God told me, like, girl, you didn't tell that right. You didn't tell the story right. So I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to tell the story. And, well, there you have it. Because, man, I was a little off, but that's okay, because I came back with the truth and the real. And I just want y'all to know that there have been people that aren't family, that hasn't treated me with respect. They knew I had potential, right? But once I stepped into that potential, they didn't like me no more. And that's how it was with Joseph. That's how it was with King David. Once King David slayed Goliath and God chose him, King Saul didn't like that none whatsoever, and he tried to unalive him, backdoor him in many ways. He tried to what did he try to do? He tried to do a multitude of things. Let me see. So he repeatedly tried to unalive David out of jealousy, and with attempts including throwing spears, sending soldiers, and even involving his own son Jonathan. And I believe that Jonathan was the one that gave David like the heads up. While David was playing the harp, an evil spirit came over Saul and tried to pin David to the wall with his spear, and David dodged it. You see, y'all, and this spirit can come into any body, okay? This evil spirit. That's why, y'all, we have to love people from a distance, because whether you want to believe it or not, it could be your own family. Yes. Especially if you have a light about you, if you're a chosen vessel by God, you're going to get attacks. And these attacks they're going to keep coming. It's not going to stop. So, me not having no kids, and most of my siblings having kids, I feel like, I'm in a position to where I should be able to do things that, that they weren't able to do, or they're not able to do, because of all the time that they have to spend raising their kids, going to work, and doing, because I have a lot of time on my hands. People say that people like me, us child-free folks out here, we're on vacation all the time. But it's because, you know, the reason why I don't have no kids is because the dating pool got way too much piss in it, okay? Matter of fact, it got toxins in it too, okay? It's polluted, for real. And though some of us may, you know, have relations with some people and it be one night stands, we don't want to do that, chosen ones. We want to be in a solid relationship and even possibly married before we carry. We've been out here trying to, you know, follow God and do right and take our time with people, because we've seen our siblings and they're not with their baby daddy, they're not with their husband, and they see us and they're like, wow, they have a lot going for themselves. They don't have any ties with people that have done us wrong in the past, but that wanted to tie us down because they wanted to control us. You know, there's many reasons people could be jealous of us. So we take these stories into consideration because we don't know, but sometimes we have to face our challenges. We have to face the demon. We have to face the backlash, and we have to face all of the things that are trying to tear us down. Because, you know, people have a misunderstanding about us as being chosen because we're on a mission. And because we're different from everybody else, we stand out. We don't have to follow everybody. We don't have to just shack up with the first person that shows us interest, because we don't chase people. We attract people. We're not, if someone finds interest in us, you know, and they're showing it a little bit, they need to show it in a way where we know for sure that they are into us. Like, we don't want to have to do mental gymnastics to figure out if they're really down for us, if they're really feeling us. Because people out here, they're playing games, and we don't have time for this. Like, we are loyal beings if we're chosen ones, and God knows our hearts. You know, we've helped people in the past that didn't deserve it because they mistreated us, they abused us, they manipulated, gaslit us. There's people out here watching us because they're wondering how we made it out of these attacks that most people don't make it out of. Okay? We have people out here trying to steal our energy. They just want to have access to us because we're beautiful, because we have light, because God chose us. Real talk. There's people out here that are just simply toxic, and they will talk, they will backbite us, they will do all matters and evil, and they They will go into groups, gang stalk us, because they want to tear us down. They want to destroy us. They don't want us to receive the blessings that God has for us. They don't want us to tell the truth. That's why I came on here to make this video in the right way that I should have made it that I should have made from the first time I tried to do it. But you know, I was lazy. I'll admit it. We take accountability over here. These people, they don't want to take accountability. They don't want to repent. And they just want to do things that they have really no business doing to us. They want to hurt and harm God's chosen people, but God has said in the Bible, touch not my anointed. And they didn't listen. So they think that they are going to receive a good harvest for planting bad seeds, but they've been sadly mistaken. You reap what you sow. And so, do you know what happened to Joseph's brothers? Let's see. Because Joseph's brothers didn't get away with that. So what happened? We're gonna see right now. I'm gonna look it up for you guys. So when they sold him into slavery out of jealousy, years later, during a severe famine, they came to Egypt seeking food. Unknowingly bowing before Joseph, who had become a powerful vizier. After testing them and revealing his identity, Joseph forgave them, brought his entire family, including their father Jacob, to Egypt to live in prosperity in Goshen, and they all lived there until a new Pharaoh enslaved them, leading to Moses' story. Moses. So, Joseph had faked his death, right? And that's why I guess they didn't know who he was. And after testing them and revealing his identity, that's the part where I was like, why did he have to reveal his identity? I was confused when I read that. But apparently he faked his death because, you know, his brothers plotted to take him out of here. And Joseph, he was taken to Egypt. And so, yeah. I see, even though his brothers were plotting to get him out of here, Joseph still, you know, he forgave them. But the thing is, with forgiveness, you don't have to forgive people. You don't. Even though, you know, there's scripture in the Bible that says, it talks about forgiveness, right? But it's not true. Because I actually watched a video, and excuse me, it was basically just saying how forgiveness is you only have to forgive, and forgiveness is necessary only when that person I guess repents for what they did. I'm actually gonna put a clip about it so I don't confuse you guys with this information, as well as I did with a lot of information that I put out. But I'm getting better, you guys. Okay, Lord, give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the name of Yahweh. because you know, you guys, sometimes I get a little mixed up, you know. I really appreciate you guys, you know, supporting my channel, because I really didn't think I could relay these messages the way that I do. And I guess I get a little shy and a little nervous relaying these messages to you guys. And you know, that's how I get a little mixed up here and there. But yeah, all right, check out this clip about forgiveness.
Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Tyler. I have been noticing a pattern every time that I am exposing the doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity, and that this is in the majority of them whenever that I am doing it, but not all of them. But whenever that it comes to these people, whoever that they are, I don't even know if they are subscribers. I don't even know if they are visitors. I don't even know if they are trolls. But overall, I have gotten their full attention on just about every single video of me exposing the doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity. And whoever that these people are, they are saying something like this. And I'm just going to paraphrase it. Well, Tyler, you need to continue to start talking about constantly self-help and personal development topics, and stop exposing and talking about the doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity. And you know what this is, and what is obvious to me, this is nothing but a form of a deflection tactic. In other words, make them feel comfortable so that I can just stick with only self-help and personal development topics, and so that they cannot feel uncomfortable at all. And I'm just going to tell you, here is what the problem is. That these people that are wanting me to stop talking about the topic of the doctrine of forgiveness, for exposing it for the fraud of what it is, and want me to deflect by talking about personal development and self-help topics on a continual basis. And not only them, but the people that come in the comment section getting outraged, getting mad, getting real upset, throwing all of their so-called proof text scriptures, which are not proof text scriptures at all, and then saying all sorts of bad things towards me, which is expected by me. But overall, when it comes to these two groups of people, that they are comfortable in living the lie. They are comfortable in accepting the lie. They are comfortable in having faith in the lie. They are comfortable in believing in the lie. They are comfortable in following the lies of what has been told to them by Reverend Pork Chop and Reverend Chicken Wing for all of these years about the doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity, that has been drilled inside of their mindset. And their minds is, just as long as the doctrine of forgiveness is not challenged, just as long as it is not questioned, it is fine by them. And you know the reason why is simply because they are so comfortable in not wanting to ask critical thinking questions. And they do not want to do any type of critical thinking at all. If they did that, then it would scare the living shit out of them. And then this would cause them to be in a panic mode and seeing the painful truth right in front of their face. And then they would have to make a decision. Okay, do I let go of this false doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity? And what are these other Christians are going to think about me? And they do not want to get being persecuted. They do not want to get destructively criticized or anything like that. And then they just choose to right on be in the comfortable lie of what has been told to them from Reverend Pork Chop and Reverend Chicken Wing of what has been told to them about the doctrine of forgiveness that is in the religion of Christianity. They just want that. And they are comfortable with it. That's the main problem. But you know what it is? That these people that like to deflect and has been telling me this, what they're afraid of is that they are extremely scared that based on me exposing the doctrine of forgiveness, that there are going to be some more people that's going to catch on to this lie, and they are going to be awakened by this lie, and then they are going to check up behind everything of what I have told them, and they are going to do critical thinking. And the ones that has been knowing something is wrong with the doctrine of forgiveness, this is nothing but a stepping stone to go do further investigation on it. And that's what they are afraid of. And then they are afraid of the next step, that this doctrine is going to be exposed out there on social media, like YouTube, like TikTok, like Instagram, like Facebook. They are extremely afraid of this. And you better believe me on this one, that these people that follow the doctrine of forgiveness, they're going to extremely fight this one. But it's going to be a major war that they're going to lose at the end, when people start realizing that the doctrine of forgiveness in the religion of Christianity is nothing but a plain out fraud and scam. That's what it is. And it has been, though. And so